Our next speaker is Lani Pascual. She's mother, soldier, and a spirit. Lani says, by day I am a public affairs sergeant and executive assistant to the commander of the California National Guard Counter-Drug Task Force. I manage calendars, media, and the stories of our servicemen and women, journalists, photographers, videographer for the military. In presence, I am a maturing soul, a messenger of light. My story is a lifelong emergence from the world we inherit toward the world our highest selves are creating. The lessons I experience, the patterns I document, the shifts I observe become the message of positive, inclusive possibility our inherited world is missing. I am the reminder that we can exist on this journey all at once as normal but special, worldly and divine, unfinished yet complete. Her soul talk is called Leading with Your Heart. Please welcome Lani Pascual to Sacramento Soul Talks. Hi, Lani. Good to see you. Did I say it correctly?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, okay. I just want to thank you for allowing me to come up and talk. When I found out that the subject today was connecting heart to heart, I knew that I was meant to speak today because I think growing up we all kind of assume and intuitively know that we're meant to connect with each other. We need each other to survive and thrive. Love is the answer. We know these things, right? But I don't know about you. For me, knowing something and being able to execute it is two different things, right? You never think that you have to learn how to use your heart. But for me, it didn't start when I was younger. My parents are from the Philippines. I'm actually the first generation born here. And there was a little bit of a cultural and language disconnect, right? And also there was that generation's mentality of we're going to do what we need to do. We don't talk about emotions. We don't show love necessarily even. And often growing up as a child, I was called sensitive, too emotional. Oh, you're just so defensive all the time. These things got imprinted on me when I was growing up. And so I took it to mean that being heart forward was something that you don't share, right? And this went on, of course, you grow up, and I had children of my own. And I realized after my ex-husband and I split, wait a minute, I'm the mom. So I should probably be a little more nurturing to them than I am. It wasn't something that I learned from my mom, but it was something that I realized that I had to do. Joining the military, when actually they were already 5 or 6, I realized that the kind of heart wall served me well. You have to do your job, you take your orders, and you're a soldier. And I love being a soldier. But of course, I realized that there is something more. Thank you. Something incomplete. And all while I'm living this life, the parallel behind it is that I'm doing spiritual work, right? I'm seeing healers, etc. And it led me to attend a retreat not too long ago. And a friend turned to me, my soul sister, and she was kind of sizing up everyone's personalities. And she said to me, did you know that you are heart-centered? And I looked at her and I was shocked. I said, what? She said, yeah, that is who you are. That is your gift. And it floored me because it was the first time that anyone had looked at me and said to me that that is okay. All this time I'm thinking the things that I feel, the things that I want to show people aren't allowed. They're the things that are me, and they're the things that I hadn't been told they were okay. And after that, everything changed. And of course, the fear is after you know who you are and someone finally sees you for who you are and that it's okay, the fear is, oh, wait a minute, that's my heart out there. It might get stomped on. But then another friend told me, that, you can fill yourself up so full of love that you just overflow onto other people. And then how could you get hurt by that, right? The fear then was, how do I walk around in my combat boots with my big heart on my sleeve and my angel wings in the back? And then the answer is that you can be both. Because after my friend had turned to me and said that I was heart-centered, I became that whole person. I became that thing that I was missing. I became that thing that I had been denying myself, that had not been perceived by anyone else because I wasn't seeing it myself. And here's the thing. You can be who you are, and you can be who you're going to be all at the same time. This world that we're creating, that we're going to step into, is right now, but it is also layered on top of where we are, right? So it went on. I am a soldier. I walk around with my heart on my sleeve and my angels flying behind me. And it's wonderful because now that I'm this whole person, I'm able to share the full being of who I am and the message that I receive through spirit. And it gets sprinkled into the places that you wouldn't think that they would need to be, but that's why I'm there. One of the stories I like to tell is that I'm vegan, and when my boss hired me, he's a colonel in the military, he used to always say, oh, you're great. The only thing wrong with you is that you don't eat meat. But guess who's vegan now? Not that I solicited, because I'm just the messenger. I just give the information that I know, and then you can take with it what you want. But he happened to watch a documentary, and there you go. Not to say that I caused that, but we hold space for people, don't we? We hold space, we hold light, we hold words, we hold energy. And that's what our gift and our being is. So what I've learned after 40 years is that if you lead with your heart, if you come to know exactly who the center of you is, then you will truly be able to connect your identity to other people. A lot of people think that identity, that word, means selfdom, right? It's who you are. But if you actually look at the etymology and the root of it, it means togetherness, singularity. Identity is a oneness, which is really what our true nature is, isn't it? So although we can create and experience ourselves, it really is when we know ourselves truly that we can connect to each other. So how do you lead with your heart? How do you find out exactly who you are and make sure that you're connecting to it and then connecting to other people? And what I say is, to me, it's really our voices that are the most important thing. Our voices, for me, are by far the most important and powerful tool that we can use in order to share ourselves with others. It's literally the physical manifestation of our thoughts and our emotions. And when I speak, I'm affecting you just by airwaves and vibrations, and then they hit the eardrum that you're receiving, and all of a sudden you know what's inside of me, don't you? And so on this parallel journey that I have gone through, I've been led to learn different modalities. I recently got certified in Reiki training, and I'll be doing Reiki drumming and sound healing. I'll also be offering voice analysis harmony software so that we can actually learn what's going on in your voice and what that correlates to as far as any type of deficiencies, either emotionally or physically in your body, and what we can do to support that and heal you. But what I think is most important is that through being able to heal yourself and through being able to create a coherence between your identity and your voice, you will be able to lead with your heart, and then you'll be able to connect heart to heart with other people, right? And I always wonder, what does that look like, right? You wonder, okay, you see people, are they really being themselves when they connect heart to heart? How does that happen? And what will that look like? What will that feel like? I have to tell you, you see it again in the places that you don't expect, and it's really because of people who have been able to connect with their heart. I recently was able to become a DARE officer. Did anyone take DARE training when they were younger? Drug Abuse Resistance Education? Yeah. So because the Counter Drug Task Force in the California National Guard is trying to promote or increase their youth development prevention programs, not just finding the drugs, but also trying to teach our kids not to take drugs, they are allowing soldiers, not just police officers, and sheriffs, but soldiers and airmen who are in the Guard to become DARE officers and go into the schools and teach those life skills. And so I was recently in a class of almost 25 very masculine men who were cops. Many of them had been in for a lot of years, and I can tell you that those cops, those sheriffs, those men and women go to work every day with their hearts on their sleeves, because I have never seen so many tears telling the stories of the kids that they've taught, of the people that they've lost, of the lives that they want to help. And to me, it was just being able to feel everyone's heart in action, because what they were was what you saw. They wanted to serve, they wanted to help, and that's how we were able to connect and grow and learn and become one. They actually allowed me to do a meditation for them. We had to do an inspiration every day, and my team, they allowed me to take the lead on one day. And I didn't tell them what was coming, and I didn't know what to expect, but I said, I'm just gonna go with it because I'm my whole person now, right? I'm just gonna spread my light wherever I am. And I led those 25 sheriffs and cops through a guided meditation where they were able to connect to their voice, so that it was a tool they could take back when they teach those kids to make sure that their intent is matching and would be received properly. And exactly what happened, what I didn't expect to happen, happened. Every single person in the room closed their eyes, and when I asked them to shout, they shouted. When I asked them to do affirmations, they did affirmations. And then after we were finished, I got a lot of hugs and I got a lot of feedback, because they said, here's the thing, Lani, this is what we're out for. This is out here for. This is what we need. Thank you for bringing this to us. Thank you for allowing us to remember how to use our voice properly and why we're here. And so the point of this for me, and the reason why I wanted to share this to you, is that often we see people on the street, we meet people at the store, we see people on TV. We don't know their heart. And often it's because we don't know our own heart. And so what I would suggest, implore, ponder, ask, is that what would it take? What would it take for you to find out what is in your heart today? And even beyond that, what is your heart asking you to say to the world? Because often we don't even hear that, and even more so, we don't feel like we're allowed to. Sometimes we think that the sharing is what's going to expose us, but sometimes that's the very thing that's needed in this world, and that's what you're there for. And so for me, that's what I've found. And in the end, I'm very appreciative of everyone listening today. And so thank you so much. I can't wait to be able to discuss all of this with you. But before we go, I would love to be able to do a quick exercise, if you're willing. So everyone will just kind of sit up straight in their seats. Relax, but I want you to be alert. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Let it out. I want you to think of a time when you did not feel heard. I want you to feel that in your body. I want you to think about how that makes your heart race, makes your cheeks flushed. Maybe your fists are clenching now. I want you to be able to take all of that energy and move it up into your throat, because what we're going to do right now is we're going to release that. We want your voice to be used to be heard. So if you have never been heard, if that hurts in the pit of your stomach, I want you to repeat after me and count it down after 3, 2, I am heard. I speak my truth. I am love. And I want you to yell this now. I speak love. And again, I am heard. Everyone take a deep breath. Let it out. Open your eyes. I want you to shake it out. I want you to remember, and I want you to imprint that feeling onto your body. When you speak, lead with your heart, and you'll be able to connect with those that you speak with. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.